Hi movers, today we are breaking down Sun Salutation A or Surya Namaskar A, and we're doing the vinyasa variation. And yes, we are doing the Sun Salutation with the rain, so bear with me today with the sound. Okay, so we're going to step to the top of your mat and bringing the feet together. I want you to just take a moment to root down through all four corners of both feet. Now, if you feel a little unstable in that position, just standing tall, you can take a about hip distance position with the feet, okay? And then bring the hands to heart center. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. On the next inhale, we're going to take the arms out to the sides all the way up. Rise and lift up through both sides of the waist, through the heart. Bring the palms together at the top. Exhale, folding forward from the hip joints. So hinging forward. Bow the head at the bottom. Just completely relax here. Always an option to bend the knees to relieve the lower back and to relieve the hamstrings. So maybe touching the chest down to the thighs. Really let the neck go. I like to kind of sway it side to side. As you're in forward fold, if you have a block, you can also place it underneath the hands if you want to extend the legs. Yeah, from here. Just feel and breathe into the hamstrings. Try to shift the weight a little forward towards the ball of the feet, towards the toes. So we aim to stack the hips right over the ankles. On your next inhale, we'll come into halfway lifts. You're going to plant the hands on your block, on the mat, on your shins or your thighs, and come to a nice flat tabletop-like position with the back. So as we're here, we're reaching the forehead and the crown of the head straight forward, and we're lengthening back through the tailbone. Feel nice length through the spine, creating space. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms. We are stepping back. Excuse me, stepping back right into plank pose. Now, as we're in plank pose, we keep the wrists right underneath the shoulders, and we're pressing away from the floor. Okay, so in your plank pose, we don't want to droop down too low or pike up the hips too high. We want to stay nice and level. The hips are level with the shoulders. Squeeze that tummy in. Protract the shoulders, so you're feeling the shoulder blades spread, feeling the activation in the full body. On your exhale, we're going to shift forward. So come towards the toes, shift forward to the shoulders past the wrists. Exhale. Let's drop the knees down for a modified variation first. Squeeze those elbows in, lower down halfway to that 90-degree angle. Squeeze the elbows in to engage the triceps. Inhale, lower all the way down to the tummy. Okay, so that was a modified Chaturanga Dandasana. I'm going to show you the full. Come back to your plank pose. Now remember to stick with that modified variation, okay, if the full one is a little too difficult for you. You can always work at it in stages. All right, so here in plank pose, let's shift forward. Shoulders past the wrists. Exhale, squeeze those elbows in, lower down halfway. Good job, lower all the way down to the tummy. Just checking if there's a cat underneath me. Okay, all the way down to the tummy. From here, grounding down through the tops of the feet, keeping the legs about hip distance apart. Keep the wrists directly underneath the shoulders, and go ahead and just lift the chest for baby cobra. Squeeze those elbows in, activating through the back body. Squeeze the tummy in. Exhale, lower down. Now, if your spine is feeling ready, keeping the wrists underneath those shoulders, let's lift all the way up into upward facing dog. Okay, as we're here, let the shoulder blades just cascade down the back, lengthen through the back of the neck, draw the shoulders down away from the ears. If you're feeling strong enough today, go ahead and float the legs up off the mat for full upward facing dog. Breathe, exhale. We're going to take this back into downward facing dog. So bend the knees, curl the toes under, stretch those hips nice and high up and away from the wrist joints. Now here in downward facing dog, we're keeping the wrists about shoulder width apart. The feet are hip distance apart. Go ahead and rock around a little bit. Just feel into the body, feel into the foundation. Every time I get here, I like to wiggle around, shake out the neck, pedal the feet, and find the breath. Drawing the belly in, knit the ribs in so we don't dump the chest towards the floor. If you're feeling like your hamstrings are really tight today, you can take a bend in the knees, lifting those heels. Keep noticing how my hips stay nice and high though, away from, reaching up and away from the wrists. And then reach the energy down through those heels. They don't have to touch, but you're shooting the energy there. Breathe. Long spine. Take one more breath. Spread those fingertips wide. Exhale, bend the knees. Look towards the top of the mat. Keep the spine nice and long. You can walk those feet towards the top of the mat. Feet together or hip distance, depending on your body. Halfway lift. Remember those options for the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Remember your options here to bend the knees. And then inhale, let's bend the knees. Circle the arms all the way back out to the sides and up. Breathe up, lengthen up, touch those palms together. Exhale, bring the hands back to your heart center. And come back to stillness, come back to the breath. Okay. So that was one round of Sun Salutation A. I suggest you take about 3 rounds or as many as it feels good for you. And don't worry about, if some postures, especially Chaturanga, I could do a whole nother breakdown for that posture alone. So don't worry if something doesn't come super easy to you as you start. All that matters is that you start, and let me know if you guys have any questions. Mark them below. Namaste.